Mario characters. I was Luigi since I was the second tallest. Ivan was Mario since he's short and buff. Not that Mario is buff. Jesse was Waluigi because he's freakishly tall and skinny, and Ryan was Wario because he's just really fat. So they were the perfect group costumes for us. We live in a very non-congested suburban neighborhood with a decent amount of space in between houses. On Halloween, that's the worst thing ever. Less bang for your buck. We were trick-or-treating for hours, way past dark, and eventually came the time when most trick-or-treaters were heading home. My feet started to hurt, and I had to constantly switch arms for holding the now 10-pound pillow sack of candy, but we planned on going until our bags were completely full. A lot of the houses by now weren't answering anymore. It was probably past their cutoff time for giving candy to trick-or-treaters. Approaching our next house, we saw a purple bucket on the stoop, which was the best feeling ever. I was the one to get close enough to realize it was empty, which was the worst feeling ever. I turned around when I heard a knock at the window of the house.
Those freak sacks are in for a surprise.
We all looked at the window. Couldn't see anyone, but heard someone call out, "Wait."
Fry as many as you want, Tornado. We don't want them.
The door opened, and an older man, late 40s, already balding, stepped outside. He told us to come inside so he can get us some more candy. I said we could just wait out here. He responded saying something along the lines of, "Nonsense, come on in, we'll get you your candy." Ivan stepped in and said, "It's alright. Come on, Dan, let's go." I told the guy to take care and apologized. He just stood there watching as we walked off, not saying anything. I felt bad, but at the same time, that guy seemed like a creeper, and I figured I just dodged a bullet not going in there. If the story ended there, it wouldn't be scary, so of course, it didn't end there. We skipped a few of the guy's neighboring houses just to get further away, and continued on with our business. We were walking down close to the nature preserve now, so there weren't many houses around us. At this point, we were now walking back closer to Jesse's house. I noticed Ryan had stopped walking, and I turned around to see what's up. He said he heard someone moving from behind the trees in the preserve. Now this was before everyone's phones had flashlights, so we couldn't just go searching in the woods for someone. Besides, we were just telling Ryan that it must have been a raccoon or something. You may think this is a bit of a cliche, but when things like this happen in real life, you always assume the more logical possibility. It's just natural. Why would we assume we were being followed? I had to put my arm around Ryan's shoulder and nudge him forward. A little ways down the street, me and Ivan picked up on the sound as well. And we all stopped. The sounds of the footsteps from beyond the trees stopped as well. Ivan yelled at the obvious stalker to go away, or we would beat the shit out of them. I knew he was just bluffing though. I could hear the nervousness in his voice. The snap of a twig from beyond the trees triggered a fight-or-flight response in all of us. Me, Jesse, and Ryan all ran for it. Ivan was at first charging to attack, but he quickly followed after realizing we had all taken off. We ran down the dark street, and we all noticed the sounds of at least 2 or 3 pairs of footsteps crushing the twigs and leaves in the woods. We banked it hard right down Jesse Street when it finally came up, and ran straight for his backyard, entering his house through the back door. The first thing we did was peek out through his living room window. We couldn't see anyone. We all had to gather our thoughts and discuss what the hell just went down in his living room, when all of a sudden we heard Jesse's backyard gate slam shut. Jesse dove to turn off the lights. There was a click and a bang from down in the den. It was more than likely Jesse's back door. We all agreed to go down armed with knives and face them. Jesse turned on his back door light, but there was nobody out there. Just then the front door opened, and we all screamed like animals. Jesse's mom and sisters came rushing downstairs. They had just gotten home from their friend's little house party. We all rested assured knowing it was just them. Jesse explained what happened, but made it seem a lot less dramatic. Me and Ivan went home after that and called it a night. At 12:30 a.m., I got a disturbing text message. It was from Jesse. It said, "It wasn't my mom." I texted back saying, "What?" He responded back quickly, saying, It wasn't my mom in the backyard. My fingers slammed the buttons on my phone, responding back. What do you mean? There was a long pause before he finally told me that his mom and sisters said they never went in the backyard. I told him to immediately check the backyard from his upper deck. He had already done just that. He also told his mom everything, and she had already called the police. They didn't find anyone back there, but Jesse did mention the guy who invited us in while trick-or-treating. Nothing ever became of that, and nothing ever happened at Jesse's house again after that one Halloween night.
I work in a middle school as an 8th grade math teacher. Some of you may assume that means I'm like 38 or something, but I'm actually only 26. I was hired young. I'm not saying I'm immature or anything, just that if I was 10 or 20 years older, I may have handled things differently. Of course, this happened during a period that I was teaching a class. The math wing in our school is closest to the lobby. I remember it like it was yesterday, down to the equation I was writing on the board, and the lockdown alarm suddenly sounded. It wasn't a drill. All faculty and students are taught which alarms mean what, and this was the alarm that meant go into lockdown for real, not a drill. I hurried to the door to lock it. Each door in the building has a big glass panel in it though, so the doors have little blinds that you can pull down to cover this. Even though we're supposed to pull down the blinds during lockdowns, we're also supposed to instruct students to hide in one corner of the room with the lights off. As I turned off the lights in the classroom, I told the students to go hide in the corner of the room where we would be least visible and audible from the door. I saw the lights in the hallway dim to just the backup lights, something I'd never seen before to that point. I was slightly worried because I knew this had to be serious. And like I said, the math wing is right by the lobby. My classroom is one of the first classrooms you pass as you're going through one of the 2 hallways that veer from the lobby. I was curious, so using the classroom phone, I called the front office. They didn't pick up after 4 rings, so I hung up. I wasn't endangering anyone to my knowledge, because the front office is behind 2 doors and the phone wouldn't be heard from the lobby. But still, them not picking up was concerning. There was suddenly a knocking on the door, a frantic, panicked knocking, accompanied with someone on the other side of the door begging to be let in. It wasn't a student, the voice was way too deep. It sounded to me like a guy in his early 20s, if I had to guess. I went to the door quietly, saw the person's shadow on the other side of the blind. He started saying he could see me through the blind and knew I could hear him. He kept saying let me in this scared-sounding, kind of whimpery voice. I looked to my students. Some of them had scared, confused looks on their faces. I signaled for them to keep quiet, and I asked through the door, who's there? What's your name? He said his name was Cody and that he was a student and needed to get into the classroom because he felt unsafe in the hall. When he told me this, I noticed he seemed to be trying to talk in a slightly higher pitch. I wasn't falling for it. There was no way that voice belonged to a middle schooler. I ignored him and went back to the corner by the students. The guy on the other side of the door started knocking harder now, fiddling with the doorknob and then kind of thrashing at the door, all while still saying, "Help, let me in." I did my best to keep my students from screaming or freaking out. The guy eventually gave up and the noises stopped. We stayed in lockdown for half an hour before an announcement was made that police had searched the building and it was safe. So later on, faculty was given more details, and apparently some 20-something-year-old guy with long hair down to his shoulders was walking around the school with a small handgun. Whether it was a real gun or not remains unknown, but the guy was caught on camera leaving the building through a back exit, and he was found by police 2 hours later, not holding the gun. I think I could have handled the situation a little better. For example, not even answering the guy when he was at the door, but I was so nervous that I really wasn't thinking logically. It's scary to think about what might have transpired if I opened the door for him.
Step right up, maggot sacks.
This was back in my university days, not too long ago. I was in between classes with an hour-long gap. I had to go to the bathroom, but I didn't like using the bathrooms that most other people use. There were a couple restrooms on campus that were never really used. For example, the activity center building's bathroom. Our school's activity center was usually a ghost town during early day hours, and it was next to the building where I'd be having my next class, so it wasn't like it was far away. Inside the lobby of the activity center, Some guy was sitting on a desk looking down at his phone. He looked up at me as I passed and said good morning. I said it back and proceeded around the curved hallway to the restrooms. While I was in one of the stalls, the door to the restroom opened and a man asked if anyone's in here. Being that it was the women's restroom, I was a little weirded out by that. I didn't answer it. The door to the restroom closed, but I heard footsteps come up to my stall and stop. There was a light tap on the stall door with one of his fingers, I presume. Then, in that ever so tiny crack in the door, I saw the man pressing his face up through it. I saw his eye looking in for a second. I gasped and said, "Someone's in here." He replied back asking why I didn't answer him, and told me this building and all nearby buildings are going into lockdown because of an apparent student who was sighted with a weapon. I didn't understand why he was in the women's bathroom before. I left the stall to be face to face with him. There was that guy that was sitting on the desk before. I was guessing he was the front desk worker or whatever for this building. He had to be trustworthy. He showed me a text on his phone from a random number, and it was a warning from the university to stay inside whatever building and classrooms you're in and to lock all the doors due to a potentially armed individual on campus. I found that alarming, so I felt comfortable with him going to blockade the bathroom door with a garbage bin. After he did that though, the two of us just stood in the bathroom together, awkwardly. Like, I was trying to ask him for more details about the potentially armed person on campus. He said he had no other information on it though. Something about the way he was looking at me relentlessly, with no social cues or when to stop staring at me. I felt uneasy. I pulled out my phone to create a buffer. As I was on my phone, I thought I could just look for a similar text from the school that he showed me. But I didn't get any text from the university. I went to the school's website, which would often have news and alerts. It didn't have anything about it though. I asked this man's name, and he said his name was Eli, and he worked in the building. Now that I thought about it though, his outfit consisted of light blue bootcut jeans with brown boots and a gray hoodie. He looked, if anything, like a maintenance worker. Instead of trying to continue the conversation with him, I was on my phone texting friends, any friends who I knew were on campus at the moment, asking if they heard anything about this armed person. I had 2 friends text back saying no, class was in session like normal. I looked up at the man, who was now even closer to me. Time stopped moving in that instant. He looked at the door and whispered to me that he thought he heard something, and that we should make a move to one of the stalls and hide. I froze, both physically and mentally. He started to walk up to me with his arms slightly extended out to nudge me into one of the stalls with him. At this point, the only thing I could do was scream, as loud as I could. It caught him off guard, and I think he went into full-on panic mode as he looked around the room and then hurried to move the trash bin away from the door and storm out of the bathroom. I proceeded to leave the bathroom a few seconds after him, running to the nearest exit. From there, I called my mom to cry to her about it. She actually called campus police for me and then drove to the school to meet me, and that's when I told campus police about the man, with my mom there to support me. A day later, I received a call from campus police, and they said they reviewed the footage caught in the building and could confirm that man did not work at the school, and that they would do their best to find out who he was. I never received any future updates.
As long as you keep dying, I'll keep shooting.
It was 9th period, the end of the school day, senior year of high school. 9th period was one of my off periods, so my school days would be a little shorter. A couple of my friends also had their schedules set up that way, Ryan and Steph. Our third friend Tyler had off 9th period every other day. This was one of the days he didn't have off, but since it was Friday and a nice day out, we were all texting each other making plans to hit the beach. Tyler was talking about sneaking out of gym early to come with us, while we were waiting in the hallway by the gym. This hall was in the far corner of the school. The only people passing were students going to gym class. Tyler texted us that he was just going to wait till the gym teacher took attendance, then sneak back to the locker room and meet us in the hall. We waited there for a decent minute. It was taking a while for some reason. There's a set of exit doors at the end of the gym hall we were standing in. It wasn't supposed to be used as an entrance, but here came some guy through the doors. Even though it was a really nice day out, this guy came through the 2 doors in the hall wearing black sweatpants and a black zipper-up hoodie with the hood over his head. He was also wearing a black backpack. He went silent as he walked past us, making a point of looking at all 3 of us with this dagger of a stare. Ryan stepped up and said, "What, dude? Fuck off." And the guy stopped in his tracks and turned to face Ryan and asked him if he's got a problem. Scott and I stepped in and just said forget it over and over until the guy turned and kept walking. We all agreed that guy seemed extremely sketchy. He looked like he could have been a student, but none of us recognized him. He had a little facial hair, but it was kind of patchy though. A few minutes later, I texted him asking him to hurry up. He texted back he couldn't sneak out just yet since we're in lockdown. This was a shock to us because we weren't aware of this. He said the gym teachers announced it and everyone was hiding in the locker rooms. He also just realized the door separating the gym hallway from the actual locker room hallway was closed and locked. He immediately linked it to that creepy-looking dude dressed in all black who just walked past us. The reality hit us so much harder. There were these popping sounds from down one of the hallways. First they sounded like maybe a teacher slamming books on a desk as if to wake a student up or something. But we quickly put two and two together and realized they were gunshots. The sounds of students screaming quickly followed. Next thing we knew, we saw that guy in the black appear down the hall. He was running full speed towards us. The three of us ran out the two doors that the guy entered from, and all the way to the woods next to the school. In that moment, I felt the curtains of life slowly closing. The thought of death becoming a reality. I looked back twice as we ran. I saw that guy was chasing us, but he was kind of far away. He screamed stuff at us, most of it inaudible, and I did make out him saying, "I'm gonna kill you, Phil." We made it to the woods by hopping the fence that surrounds the perimeter of the school. When we had a nice shield of trees covering us from view, we stopped to catch our breath. We decided to wait it out, laying flat on the ground to avoid detection. We then heard footsteps in the dark. It got louder and louder until I could see him running through the woods looking for us. He ran further away from us, not noticing us. And when he was out of sight, we all agreed to run for it back to the senior parking lot. Between the running and the shock of the near-death experience we just had, I don't know how I didn't vomit. We got to my car and drove all three of us to my house. Obviously the beach idea was out the window now. It later blew up on social media in our high school class group chat that one of the new teachers was shot by the guy and was sent to the hospital in an ambulance. He survived, but everyone thought he was going to die considering he got shot twice. No one knows who that guy was or why he targeted that one specific teacher. I'm sure he went after us because Ryan antagonized him. He probably waited to come after us, or Ryan specifically, because he didn't want to alert the whole school with a gunshot. Who knows though? That wouldn't have really mattered anyway because the school was already tipped off by a nearby house about him because he was seen pissing on their property before going to the school, not to mention the way he was dressed on an 80-degree day. I consider this a near-death experience, and I count my lucky stars as survived. Cupid. Mainly use Bumble. In my Bumble bio, I have my height, which is 4'11", to make a joke about being short, and then I have my Instagram and Snap at the bottom. Because of that, I get a decent amount of random follow requests on Instagram. Half the time I don't follow them back. I also get a lot of random people adding me on Snap, probably more on there than on Instagram. I usually only add them back if I recognize their name from a recent conversation on Bumble, or if their Bitmoji looks pretty normal. I know, that sounds weird. I deal with a lot of stupid, disgusting boys on Bumble, but it's not as bad as Tinder. Still, I often have the typical douche frat boy asking if I do hookups or sending any kind of provocative messages. Usually when that happens, I'll mess with them a little bit and then I'll match them. This one time, I guess 3 to almost 4 weeks ago, I matched this actually pretty attractive guy. He sent some pickup line that was kind of creative and got my attention. Pretty soon he asked for my Snap. 10 seconds later, he added me after noticing I had my Snap in my bio anyway. So I added him back because why not? He started messaging me on Snap. I screenshotted the first 2 pics on his Bumble profile and sent it to my girlfriends, mentioning how attractive he is. My friend Gianna replied right away saying it's a catfish. She matched it too. So I decided I'd mess with them a little bit. The things he was messaging me on Snap were slowly progressing to be more sexual. I started saying the most unattractive things possible. They started getting noticeably salty. I said I would be down to come over if they sent me a selfie. He didn't send a selfie, of course. He just replied with a message asking what my address is. I didn't reply at first, asking my girls what I should do next. But then I got a notification that the guy screenshotted my Snapchat profile. I immediately blocked him and remembered I had my location on the Snap map as public. The problem is the houses in my area are spaced out enough where I could easily identify which house I was in. I panicked, asking my girlfriend what to do. They tried to calm me down, assuring me there was no chance he'd come to my house. This did a good job because they made me realize how ridiculous him coming to my house sounded. I was watching New Girl on Netflix. Doorbell suddenly rang. Was the show. I felt my heart jump into my throat. I was home alone, not expecting my parents or siblings. It was past 10. I turned off my bedroom light and TV screen. I wanted total darkness to give the illusion no one was home. I suddenly got a notification that someone added me on Snap. The username was It's Me, Add Me Back. I blocked the account immediately. 2 minutes later, another account added me on Snap. This one the username was I'm outside your house. I screenshotted that and sent it to my friends and family, now in tears. I blocked it as well. It was a long pause now. I hoped maybe he had given up. During that time, I was texting friends and family, but ignoring all their phone calls because I was so paranoid that I'd be heard from outside. Finally, I got another dreaded notification from Snap, saying someone added me. This time the username said, I'm looking right at you. I turned to the window, naturally. I wish I hadn't. I wish I just ran out of the room and called 911. But I looked and saw him looking into my room, this disgusting, smiling man. I'm sure my face turned completely ghostly white as I looked at him. I ran out of the entire house, screaming at the top of my lungs down the street. 2 neighbors came outside in response. I basically ran into one of their arms, crying for help. The neighbor called the police for me, and the man was not found in or around the house. I somehow had to gather the courage to go back into that house and stay there for the night. I locked myself in my parents' room since it's the only bedroom upstairs with a lock, and I prayed I'd be able to fall asleep. I lay awake for seemingly hours though. Eventually I knew for a fact I heard something outside the door. Like tiny, soft footsteps causing ever so slight cracks in the wall. I sat up, stared at the bottom of the door, dreading the lights outside turning on. There was someone trying to open the door. I grabbed my cell phone and dialed 911. I immediately said to the operator in a quiet whisper that someone was inside my house and I was alone. Maybe I didn't say it quietly enough. His footsteps on the other side of the door confirmed that I was right. I wasn't just feeling things. Footsteps walked away from the door quickly. I didn't go down the stairs. Eventually I heard the front storm door slam shut. Cops arrived shortly. The same cops had returned. This time they wouldn't allow me to sleep there the rest of the night. I called my friend Gianna, who was still awake. She said I could come sleep over for the rest of the weekend. Police escorted me there after I locked up my house. I'm grateful I didn't fall asleep there. I wouldn't have heard those tiny footsteps outside my room. I might not have called the cops in time.
I'm gonna need a shower to wash off all this blood.
I hardly use Snap. I find it to be an immature form of communication. I only have one so I can receive snaps from friends and occasionally send people snaps while I'm on vacation somewhere or doing something fun. I do not view Snapchat as a viable replacement for simply texting someone. That being said, when this girl Kate that I hadn't heard from in months, who I was kind of into, one night ran
BSH.
I need points then.
Hit the box again. Hit the box one more
What
time.
sucks about Rooked is that there's no spawn
Yeah,
zones.
hit it one more time. Yeah, just see what we get. Nope. We have to try to move the box, by the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to let you get some points there.
Oh.
Okay. That's not bad.
Okay, let's. Not on my screen.
Oh, what the? That's not legit. What?
Probably
The
just.
light swinging back.
But trust me, guys,
It's gonna be hard.
it's gonna be
insane.
it's gonna be hard. Yeah. One more round, we gotta go. Favorite bread, and I had my play a new monitor for 3.
What do you think? I'm not a World at War player.
You
I
probably,
got around,
you probably have more,
126 from this map.
you probably have more experience than me on this game.
I got around 91 on Doris.
No life. Serial NAC. Oh my goodness. Bringing me back the memories, man. How are you, brother? I better see you be playing a new Modern Warfare 3 because we're gonna be doing that outbreak grind again. You know.
Break field is so bad. That's okay. You're eating some bread.
Garlic. I haven't ate dinner yet. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah. No. He is echoing. No. There. I turned it off. I had my speaker on.
Yeah. Alright. It's round 2. You know what that means. Time to get rid of the Springfield.
Yeah.
That's
You
about
don't
as
know
good
if you
as
can grind on
Springfield.
PC? Why not? You can still use controller on PC, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has weird input delay. And like, it's not. It's very finicky compared to native.
Yeah, garlic bread is bomb. Probably one of my favorite bread, and that or crazy bread from Little Caesar. That shit's so good. Oh, you mean going offline? You're right. Yeah, but the thing is, there's not round base, so you can technically still play it. I think they might be adding round base, but when they do that, yeah, you gotta play offline. One more round, we gotta go. Yo, Lito. The thing is, you can't even crawl though.
You're good. You're good.
I think we should maybe.
Look out.
I think we should camp in the room.
Yeah, good idea.
Camp in the room with me.
Reloading.
Yeah.
Okay, all I lost was double tap. We're good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
We're good. We're good.
Mine jug.
Okay, we're good. You're good. You're good. Yep, you're good.
Alright, we're chilling. We're chilling.
I gotta reload.
I'm gonna watch this.
Okay,
Alright,
we're good. Yeah, all yours. Get some points.
Alright, that was a little stressful.
That was
I
that.
completely forgot that that door is gonna be open.
Yeah.
I just was like, oh yeah, they're not gonna spawn there.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy Quick Revive. I'm buying Quick Revive as well. Might as well, right?
Oh yeah.
But there's no meal cake, right? I don't think there's meal cake. Yeah, there's no meal
No.
cake. Yeah.
Why would there be meal kick? I only have a Browning. I have no Thompson ammo. Does that room count?
I think you can open it. Pretty sure you could, right? Does it count?
I didn't watch. I didn't get to see that.
I'm not sure if this room counts, to be honest. I'm not sure.
I think we should camp here.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't count. Well, I just opened up the door. We don't have to go inside though. But does it count? I don't know if it counts.
I don't know. I can try to watch that really quick, but
I don't think
you can hold that.
I don't think it matters though. That room. Pretty good, Fiona. Just work. Pretty stressed out. Came back, relaxed, kill some zombies for you guys, chit chat. How's your day, Fiona?
I don't think they even opened that room.
Okay, we'll just not go inside then.
I don't think you're supposed to go in there.
Sure, I just won't go inside then. Yeah.
I'm trying to watch, but I'm watching them play the round and they're not going in there at all, so I don't think they.
Sure. Yeah. We'll just not.
Oh,
go
that's
in there.
good. That's nice. Red Aspect, what's up?
Grabbing it.
Alright, whenever.
Yep.
You still good? Playing Commander Eisendrache, of course you are.
Alright. I think this room is kind of easier, in a way.
Yeah. This is probably the best room.
Yeah. Most pointless room? Yeah, indeed.
At least we have Thompson.
And like and the bar is hella expensive in there too. Yeah, well the thing is, I do kind of want to know if we can go in that room though, because we do have to buy the bar. We're running out of ammo, right? So,
yeah,
do they not have it open?
I can't. I'm trying to watch, but I don't want to die, so.
I could save a zombie, I guess, and we just figured it out. Cause like it should make sense that we can go inside it. It's not really a room.
Yeah. Cause like it's part of the quick revive room, but it isn't, cause it's a separate door.
Yeah.
And like at that point, you'd almost have to play it as its own room after the quick revive room or something.
No, I don't think so. I think that's too OP now. Pretty sure it's not part of the room, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, because they,
like
go,
a room
they go Thompson room and then they go straight into the quick revive room.
Thompson, quick revive room. Yeah, and then where did they go after quick revive? Did they just
Jug.
go over to Jug?
Oh yeah,
Did they
they
go
have
over
the door
Jug?
closed. They have that door closed on round 19.
But do they go over to Jug though?
Yeah. Jug's a different room.
Yeah, so they don't actually camp in the room then. That doesn't count as a room though.
They don't open that room at all. It's closed.
Alright. I don't think us opening it matters though. Cause we're not even gonna go inside.
As long as we don't go in, I think it's alright.
Yeah. 12 rounds away from record. Yeah, ready to think about it.
The only good thing is that this is like a short game, but it's still hard.
Oh yeah.
I need to get that ray gun when we go back to the STG room.
Oh yeah, drop, but I guess no drops.
You have no chance, bone monkey.
No drops. Damn. You know what? MPL.
Fire sweetness.
This is dog round and I just bought the MPL and got rid of my ray gun. That's a pain. I don't care. MPL time. 75 right now. Hey, W bro, W.
Down, boy. Woo, what a blast!
That's super boring, like, yeah. The Eisendrache strat is definitely boring. We have a take next round for round 40.
Not me.
I didn't buy the ammo, what was I doing? I rebuilt a barrier though. That's fine. Just got me
Barry!
round.
Are you okay?
Freeze! Please! Or do you want to find out the hard way? You're not faster than a bullet.
Who is that guy and what is he so proud of? So he caught a mugger.
He's a transfer from Keystone. Started a few weeks ago. Eddie Thawne.
Oh, that's Detective Pretty Boy. That's what my dad calls him. Says he actually keeps score when it comes to arrests. He is pretty, though.
this the last farm on Barry's list?
Look, I know the kid's smart, but you said it yourself. Sometimes he's chasing flying pigs.
Well, let's check it out anyway.
I'm Linda Park, and we're live outside Star Labs despite the inclement weather, which has in no way affected the particle accelerator, which is up and running smoothly, according to Star Labs CEO Harrison Wells. The weather has also the atmosphere as no one seems ready to leave. Those outside are finding cover wherever they can,
Well, morning.
I got a blade to catch!
What the hell?
Shire, hang in there.
Wait, we're now being told to evacuate the facility. The storm may have caused a malfunction to the primary cooling system. Officials are now trying to shut down the particle accelerator, and so far have been unable to regain control of the system.